Okay, guys, all channels are open again to record on all levels. And we're diving into something very, very, very important today. First of all, welcome to releasing the fear of not being loved. When I look down on my table, of course, I have a couple of notes ready for you here. Later on, I will change the screen into the declaration, into the affirmation that we are going to use. And that is right when we go into the trance. But beforehand, I want to talk to you about why the fear of not being loved is so important in our life and is such a big drive for so many people, and more importantly, such a big block for so many people. I believe that when we come into this world, of course, there's pre-programming in pregnancy, and if you believe into past lives, all that baggage that we bring into this life. But I believe when we come and born into this body, we are a bundle of pure potential. We are a bundle of pure love, of us purely being us. And then the whole conditioning process starts, as you have heard me talk about it many, many times before. And we are being released into this stream of conditions that our parents, our teachers, our preachers are taking us through. And the conditions are often implementing fears into our system. Let it be the fear of not having enough money, the fear of being rejected, the fear of poor health, the fear of being laughed, not loved, the fear of being laughed at, the fear of the unknown. And all these fears that usually govern us throughout our lives, let it be in business, let it be in our relationships, let it be on the health issues, let it be in all other areas in our lives, are usually boiling down to simply two fears. The fear of dying and the fear of not being loved. And so even let it be the fear of not having enough money. When I do this in my workshops, or when I work through these fears with my clients in a one-on-one session, you can clearly see we drill down into another fear, into the fear that's under that fear, under that fear, under that fear. It usually comes down to one of those two fears. Either I'm not being loved, or the fear of actually dying. These fears are actually very close, because the fear of not being loved is very strongly connected to that fear of not being connected. When we come out of our mum's womb, we still have that sense of connection to our mother, that connection to our family, but also that connection of pure potential, that connection of, for the lack of a better word, the pure divine, who we truly are, that higher consciousness. And the more we live this life, the more we disconnect from who we truly are. We are being conditioned to function in a certain way, but that very often takes us out of that space of pure potential and that space of being at peace with who we truly are. So releasing that fear of not being loved will allow us to zone into that core energy that we have again, and start acting and reacting from who we truly are, rather than trying to project a version of ourselves that we believe our I was about to say our opponent, but the person that we communicate with is expecting of us. So very often we alter our behavior. Let's say we go on a first date. We're looking for love, and all of us are hoping to be loved the way we are hoping to be loved and accepted for who we are completely. And so now we might find someone that is very interesting for us. We might find someone that resonates with us. And we go into that first date, and suddenly we begin to alter our behavior. We start to make jokes that we actually don't find funny. Very often we dress in a way that we think the other person would like to see. We might pretend we have certain interests that we don't have. All of that just to make it for the other person, to make it easier for the other person to love and accept us a little bit more. Now, that's all well and good, because that's very understandable, and that's what we all do. We want to prepare the grounds for the other person to really love us, but very often we take us completely away from who we truly are. We take us away from the core essence of who we truly are. And we might fall in love, and the other person might fall in love with us. And we thrive on that honeymoon period for 1 month, 2 months, maybe 3 months. And then after 3 months, suddenly our true self is coming through. And that true self in itself is very, very beautiful. The problem is that we have put a judgment on that true self, and that we expected someone else won't be able to love us if we bring that up. Now, that's a metaphor for love. That's a metaphor for getting new clients, landing new business. It's all areas of life, really. It's a metaphor for how we operate with the universe. We are sending mixed messages. We're basically saying, please love me exactly as I am, but I can't show you exactly who I am. So I've seen the exact same pattern with people going into interviews, with people going on dates, with people just simply operating in life. So now after 3 months in that relationship, we might show up other qualities of ourselves that the other person might not resonate with. And they suddenly go, who are you? I've never seen this quality. I don't really like that quality. And you go, but please love me for who I really am. And they say, yeah, but you're not the person who I met. And that is so often the clash that happens in a relationship after half a year, or sometimes later, sometimes earlier. And that is the clash that happens in life, because we show up as someone we believe we have to be, rather than showing up as someone that we truly are. Now, if we go into that interview, if we show up in life as someone that we truly are, and we're congruent with who we are, and we show our truest version, and we stop hiding behind some version that's really created out of fear and lack. When we come in with that true resonance of ourselves, we now allow situations, people, circumstances in our life that resonate with that true core. Now, making that step in the beginning can be a little bit scary, of course. But once you make that step, you realize it's not scary at all, because all you have to do is actually being truly yourself. It reminds me when I started my spiritual journey. I know that I believe in the greater good, in that everything is connected. I know the energy that weaves things together, and how we interact and how we influence with our intention. I have seen it too many times in miraculous ways. I believe there's something that most people call God. Now, I'm not coming from any religious background. For me, God is the energy that we all are. You are God. I am God. We're all connected through that energy. You might call it source, universe, all that is. Now, even though I was already teaching those things, in private life, I didn't dare show up as that person, because I feared people will laugh at me, people will treat me differently, people make a judgment on me, and truly, really only I made that judgment on myself. So I started operating always from that place of, I was giving out a message, I was teaching a certain message, but yet I was still holding back. And of course, universe, clients, lovers, friends couldn't quite resonate, couldn't quite figure out, okay, who are you really? The universe would say, what resonance should I deliver to? Is it you that is 100% source and potential, and we see what you can do and we see where you thrive? Or is it you that is holding back from a place of fear and lack, and we need to deliver towards that lack and fear? I know this is I hope it drills down, and I hope this is very, very clear, because you can only, of course, declare these things specifically vague. But I hope it resonates straight in the heart, from my heart to you, is that how important it is that we release that fear of not being loved. So we allow ourselves to then enter the space of being who we truly are. If we come back to the metaphor of relationships, it is not 50% and 50% that then make 100%. So we're always looking for someone else to fulfill us, to complete us. For me, a true beautiful, divinely connected relationship is me being 100% and my partner being 100%. That doesn't mean we have to agree with everything, but everybody can thrive in who they truly are. And so these two 100% can now resonate like noble gases, resonate with each other. They don't need each other, but they love each other, and therefore they can walk that way together. It's like two ships now swimming alongside in the sea, rather than waiting for one boat to pull the other boat. So again, coming back, releasing that fear of not being loved will bring you up a massive step into allowing yourself to live your truest gifts, allowing yourself to bring in the joy, the happiness, the people, even the money that you want, because you're now operating from a place of true integrity. So I want to take you into that space now. I want to go deep into this trance. I'm going to stop just that recording here briefly. And I'm going to change and share the screen. Okay.